Hello. Today I am flying SkyWest Airlines, operating for Alaska SkyWest, from Helena to Seattle. This is the first trip report on YouTube on a flight leaving from Helena Regional Airport, in the capital city of Montana. So, let's fly. Helena Airport is the smallest airport I have flown out of as a passenger. It's even smaller than Fargo-Hector and only serves United, Delta, and Alaska. I believe it has the second lowest number of commercial flights in the state, second to Butte, which only has 2 daily Delta flights to Salt Lake. But yeah, today we are taking the daily afternoon flight to Seattle on an Alaska Airlines Embraer 175. It is one of my favorite regional jets, so I'm looking forward to this. The gate area is surprisingly modern. It turns out it was renovated a few weeks ago. Fargo, take notes. We even have this mini lounge type area with the airport logo standing proudly above the fireplace. The spacious concourse consists of 3 gates, numbered 1, 2, and 3. My flight will be at gate 1, as the Seattle flight always is. The United flight to Denver typically leaves from gate 2, while the Delta flight to Salt Lake leaves from gate 3. Pretty soon after I arrived at the gate, my aircraft landed. It flew in from a rainy Seattle as the same flight number as this flight will be, AS3328. This plane is November 170 Sierra Yankee, an 8-year-old E175 built in 2014. I believe this is the oldest Embraer 175 in Alaska's fleet. As a matter of fact, after I took this flight, I bought myself a Skymarks 1-100 model of this exact aircraft. And in my opinion, it looks very cool. Probably one of my favorite Skymarks models in my collection. This is a 4 p.m. departure, which means it will be the only aircraft here at this time. The midday Denver and SLC flights left a while ago. The interesting thing about this flight is that it only occurs once a day, unlike the Denver and SLC ones, which depart twice daily, morning and midday. It won't be this way for much longer though, as I believe Alaska will add a morning departure this coming summer. Don't know if that one will be operated by SkyWest or Horizon. I guess only time will tell. Did you catch that? Yeah, the gate agent made a small mistake, saying that this flight would be operated by Horizon Air. To be clear guys, this is not Horizon Air, this is SkyWest. But I can't blame them, because, you know, when you think of Alaska Airlines Regional, the first thing that comes to mind would likely be Horizon Air, the same way Envoy would be for American Eagle. I bring this up because, as it turns out, the Helena to Seattle route wasn't always operated by SkyWest. Not too long ago it was Horizon Air doing this flight, which I'll talk more about later. Got a misaligned window. That'll work. I'm in seat 16D today, and what I said there was true. Yeah, the seat does have a bit of a misaligned window, just so you're all aware. Back when I was in the terminal, I got myself a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee from the small convenience store they have there. Unlike the seats on American Eagle and Delta Connection, the seats on Alaska Embraers are of the hard slim type, also seen on United Express. They definitely aren't as comfortable as those on Delta and American, unfortunately, but not bad for a 1.5 hour flight. Also, they give a very fresh look to the interior.
Smaller devices should be held or secured at this time.
The benefit to these slim seats is that they allow for really good legroom, especially for a regional jet. Tray table's a good size.
Welcome aboard Alaska Flight 3328 headed to Seattle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has been turned on. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened.
Alaska Airlines has free Wi-Fi on their planes, and yes, that includes their regional jets. You can connect to it for free, but for internet access you need to pay $8. Even if you don't opt for that though, you can still access their free selection of in-flight entertainment through your device, which is massive, more than I would have expected from Alaska. And on top of that, they have free texting. For some reason, the literature pocket did not contain an air sickness bag. That would never be a problem for me, but it may be for others, which is why I gotta mention it. But it does include a safety card, bare minimum. Disclaimer: I do not condone putting split scimitar winglets on Embraer jets. Still though, better depiction of the aircraft type than whatever in the Ilyushin bus IL96340 this is. We also have an airline brochure that contains info on their Wi-Fi, in-flight entertainment, buy on board stuff, and their complimentary drink choice. Their drink choice is pretty extensive, by the way. The Alaska flight from Helena to Seattle wasn't always operated by SkyWest. Back when Horizon Air had Bombardier -8 400s, they would fly those for Alaska Horizon on this route. But unfortunately, the -8s were retired, and then the Embraer 175s would start flying here. Horizon Air got a bunch of E175s to replace the dashes, but the operator for this route was still switched to SkyWest Airlines. I believe that's what happened. Either that, or maybe the operator just regularly changes. I never got a chance to fly on Alaska's -8s. Really sucks that I couldn't do this route back when I used that plane. Would have loved to fly on one of them, even though I like the 175. But Horizon Air still flies similar routes to Montana. As a matter of fact, as my SkyWest plane was heading from Seattle to Helena before I got on board today, it was flying parallel to another 175, that one operated by Horizon Air and heading to Great Falls. Alaska Airlines has 83 Embraer 175s, which make up their entire regional fleet. The SkyWest ones range from 1 to 8 years old. This one I think might be the oldest. The Horizon Air ones range from brand new to 7 years at the moment. The rest of Alaska's fleet consists of 737s, as they got rid of their A320 family not long ago. Though, given recent events, I wouldn't be surprised if they regret that decision. This is the last trip report in my current backlog, which means there won't be another one of these videos until April. But once we get to April, I'll have some good stuff coming.
With us today, we'd like to extend a special welcome to our Miles Plan members and those of you that are joining us from our World Alliance partners.
Pretty soon, our SkyWest cabin crew came around with complimentary drinks and snacks. For a snack, they had these pretzels. They were alright, but very bland. Definitely not Alaska's strong point. Out of the many drinks they had, I chose ginger ale. They gave me a small can with a cup. I also wanted to try the boxed water, so the crew gave me one of those as well. It's 2 drinks on a short flight like this. What a charm. This brings me to the big highlight of this flight, which was definitely the crew. They were the happiest, most friendly crew I have seen on a regional flight. The flight attendant who served me reminded me a lot of the Southwest Airlines crew. The other highlight of this flight was the view I got during the descent into Seattle. I don't think I need to explain this one.
Make sure bags and larger items, including laptops and tablets with keyboards, are completely under the seat in front of you. And if you're sitting, fasten your seatbelt and remain seated for the rest of the flight. The lavatories on board will remain closed until we arrive at the gate.
If you haven't already, please remember to leave a like and to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. First time on this channel where we're landing in SeaTac. Glad I could catch a view of the city skyline before we headed south to the runway. We're actually going to be deplaning with a ramp, which is a treat for me and a rare one in the United States. And do you want to know what else was a treat for me? This flight with Alaska SkyWest. For a 1 hour and 20-minute flight, this was a memorable experience. Yeah, the seat comfort was the bare minimum, but the crew we had on this flight were some of the best I've seen on a regional. They were just exceptional. Also, there's the large Alaska Airlines drink choice, and on top of that, we even got in-flight entertainment. And the approach and landing into Seattle was beautiful. Beautiful and smooth, that's for sure. Yeah, this was a great flight. I would totally recommend flying Alaska on their regional branches. They do well. So well that I'm giving them a final score of 9.4 out of 10. This was truly a regional flight done right. And I wouldn't hesitate to take this route again. We got lucky enough to park right beside the retro livery Alaska E175. Unfortunately, that particular jet is operated by Horizon Air, which means I didn't have a chance of actually getting on it for this flight. But maybe in the future, as you know, I have a bit of a history of ending up on retros. Before I deplaned, the crew let me pay a quick visit to the cockpit, so shout out to them for that.